Many of you most likely have friends or family members who picked up random hobbies during the COVID-19 pandemic. Some might have started painting or putting puzzles together, while some might have become plant parents. These newfound plant parents had previously seen the care of a plant as being too much of a hassle, but with all their extra time at home, the watering schedules and fertilizing didn't seem as daunting. One part of caring for a plant that is often overlooked, especially by first-time plant parents, is repotting the plant. This is crucial to the health of the plant and will help it to continue to grow and thrive throughout the life of the plant. I learned how to repot a plant and transplant from a very young age from my grandmother and my mother in their gardens or flower beds. I've also owned plants for over 3 years now and have had to repot many plants on my own. Now, many of you most likely own a house plant or at least have a friend who does. So I hope to show you all today that anybody can repot a plant in 4 easy steps. First, you'll want to gather the supplies. Next, you'll want to remove the plant from its previous container. You will then want to place it into the new container and finally secure it with soil. Let's start by gathering our supplies. We'll start by needing a house plant. This specific one I have here is a philodendron and is a very good beginner house plant as it is very hard to kill. This specific one is root bound and is in dire need of repotting. You will also need a new container to put the plant in. You want to make sure that the sizing is right, that you're going to give the roots plenty of room to grow, as well as making sure that the drainage will be right for the specific kind of plant that you will be repotting. You will need repotting soil, a watering can with some water in it, and a scoop. Now the scoop isn't necessary, but it just helps to keep your hands a little bit cleaner. Now that we've gathered all of our supplies, we can move on to removing the plant from its original container. We'll start by squeezing the sides of this plastic container that it is in. This will help to loosen the roots and make pulling it out a lot easier. Next, you'll want to gently grab the base of the plant, making sure to not grab any of the stems. You'll want to pull it out and start to shake some of the soil off. You'll also want to loosen up some of the roots and check the roots' health as you're doing this. Removing some of the soil can help prevent root rot and other diseases that can get started by having too much old soil in the roots. Now that we have removed this plant, we can now place it into the new container. We'll start by wanting to measure the plant in its new container. You want to make sure that you have plenty of space to water without spilling, but also you don't want to cover up the base of the plant with dirt. This part of the plant needs air and it doesn't need to be covered with the dirt. So now that we've measured, we can gently set the plant down and create a base layer of soil in the bottom of the container. You'll just want to fill it up so that you can hit the right measuring spot that you had previously measured with the plant. And then you can just put a little bit of water in there and pat it down just to secure that base. Once you have that base layer of soil in, it'll be easy to just center your plant into the new container and it'll look great. But now that the plant is placed in there, you still need to secure it with soil. So we will start off by just grabbing some more soil and gently filling it around the edges of the plant. You'll want to make sure that you have plenty of soil in there, and you want to make sure that you don't leave any spaces. As you continue to fill in, you can also tap the sides of the container and check for any air bubbles. The soil will fall down into the container if there's any air bubbles down in there. And you want all the air bubbles gone so that the roots are touching the soil rather than air. This is one of the most crucial parts of this process, as this will pave a way for how the plant will continue to grow in its new pot. Once all of the soil is not falling down in, you can gently pat the top layer of the soil and pat it into place, and then you can just simply water it just a little bit to help promote growth. So in conclusion, I hope that all of you today can see that anybody can simply repot a plant by gathering the supplies, removing the plant from its previous container, placing it in the new container, and securing it with soil. I hope that all of you feel confident to perform this easy task. But before you go out and try it, I'll give you a couple of extra tips on how to not kill the plant. First, remember to be gentle. This is a living thing after all, and it can die. The next, like I already said before, but I want to reiterate, grab the base of the plant and be careful to not break any stems off. The more breakage during this process means that there has to be more work to regrow later on for the plant. And the final tip that I have for you is to make sure that you choose the right container, that you give your roots plenty of space to grow, and make sure that they won't drown in the new container. So, like I said, this isn't a daunting task. It's very easy and simple, and anybody can do it to make sure that their plant can live a long and happy life. Thank you.